Hello, everyone. My name is Janine, and I would like to welcome you to this podcast, Trigger Warning. With me is Sammy Chon and Gary Russell, the founders of Act Token. Hello, hello.
Hey
Good.
Janine, how are you? Hey
Hey,
Gary.
Janine, I say good morning, evening, good night. I don't know where folks are tuning in from. It's like the Truman Show.
Anytime. That's the great
Right.
thing about this. Anytime, anytime. This is our first episode. This is our introduction. And I know when we use the words trigger warning, that might trigger some people negatively. So I just wanted to start with Gary, I'm going to come to you. Why are we calling this trigger warning?
I'm probably going to say something that's going to trigger or offend somebody. I operate very much as a peacemaker, not a peacekeeper. A peacekeeper just wants everybody to be happy and tells you what you want, hopes everything's smooth, and doesn't care for the outcome, other than there's just peace and nobody's ruffled. A peacemaker just wants to be like, the truth is the truth, regardless of what you choose to believe. So we'll just share some truths with you. And unfortunately, sometimes the truth is very triggering to folk, especially if you got a different truth. And since there's no such thing as alternative facts, there's only the facts. The facts can be triggering. So yeah, so it's
So
a little.
that's our general disclaimer.
That's our
Anytime.
general disclaimer. Not yeah, but hopefully you can have fun with it. Hopefully you can get here. If you get a little triggered, it's real easy to do. Trigger seems to be the new catchphrase. In the old days, my years on the road training, it was called anchors, negative and positive anchors. And you associate a negative anchor to something, and then when it comes up again, a trigger warning is an anchor that you've got to an emotion. You hear it, it takes you back to that emotion, and you immediately transform into that state of mind, and then that's where you're at. It can happen on a positive scale as well, but those don't get talked about. So so the trigger warning could be good too. It might take you to a great place, but just we figure we should put it out there and let folks know. Put on your seatbelt. Might be a little bit bumpy, but I promise you it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And it might be knowledge you don't hear anywhere else other than here, because most people don't want to say it.
Yes, because Gary is a straight talker, and hopefully by triggering your triggers, you can get to a better place.
Yes, that is the goal.
Yes. Okay, awesome. So both Sammy and Gary are the founders of Act Token, a cryptocurrency, and we will be talking about all things cryptocurrency, and we will also be talking about general wealth creation, fiat currency, real life invest, just things happening within the financial world and within the world as a whole. Like Gary said, trigger warning is all encompassing. So depending on what the topic of the day is, we might lead off into rabbit trails as we go. So that's just another warning for you that we've always got a topic and we're always going to stick to it, but there will always be some added extras. So on that, Sammy, as we move into the crypto space or the crypto side of this podcast, why should people buy crypto? Why should people invest in cryptocurrency?
Well, because technologically, it is matured and grown to the place where it's meeting the needs of the marketplace. All right. So one of the biggest things I hear is like, crypto isn't real money, right? And aside from cash in your hands, which has a decreasing or diminishing value every single day based on inflation, or precious metals, right? The currency, those are physical, real currency that you can hold. But you're logging into an electronic brokerage account, or you're logging into your online banking. That number that you see is a ledger entry that your bank says, we have this amount in your account. Now, we already know that no bank can cover 100% of all their depositors. So how real is your money in the bank? Only as real as your confidence in its ability to pay you. But banks, physical locations, ATMs, the places where you can spend it, right? The world is changing so fast. And cryptocurrency is adjusting and growing with that, where it's not just dollars and cents with cryptocurrency, but the utility and the speed and the efficiency of how it's used is adjusting and making itself more valuable than gold, more valuable than the US dollar, more valuable than the euro. And that's really why, if you don't have any cryptocurrency, making the statement, it's not real money, it's a scam, is a very small-minded point of view that in the very near future, I think is gonna, you might have some regret. You might miss out on some things. Am I telling you put 100% of your stuff in crypto? Definitely not. But you should definitely start to explore crypto, understand the technological edges of the wallet, see what it's like to send money over a crypto transaction and look at the efficiency and speed by which it works. And then really get to a place where like, okay, I'm understanding a lot more. And you know what? It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Now, Gary, with your vast experience in a lot of fiat investments, do you have anything to add to why people should invest in crypto, just from the viewpoint of having worked with money for such a long time?
Yeah, diversified portfolio. So money starts to look like this from all across the nation, right? Some of it starts to look like it's paper. Some of it looks plastic. Some of it looks play. I don't, some of it are not worth anything anymore. So in a world of what we're doing, I would say fiat currency, which is our cash, really precious metals of some sort, crypto. You got to have a balanced portfolio. Like Sammy said, don't put all your money in one place. If something happens to a particular market and you're 100% in that market, you rise and fall with that market. If you got a leveraged portfolio, then you can weather the market better. It really makes you a more accurate guesser because we're all guessing. Everybody's guessing. People on CNN are guessing. The people at the NASDAQ are guessing. All your experts are guessing. Some are guessing better than others. Nobody has a future ball. I don't think we have time travel yet. I'm pretty sure Back to the Future was not a documentary. So in the case of we're trying to do the best we can, we spend a ton of time in research and analysis and trends and then understanding people. And still that only gets you so far. So if you have a diverse portfolio, you're set to weather any storm.
Love it. So I'm going to ask this question to both of you, Sammy and Gary. I'll start with Sammy. Why should people invest in ACTS token?
Well, it's a cryptocurrency that, is designed with the way that the money works and the economics of our coin. We believe we built it in a way that's going to be very attractive to the right type of investor. First of all, 8% of every transaction gets redistributed as a passive income reflection to anybody who's still holding the token. Now that's 8% of every buy and 8% of every sale, right? And then another piece is 1.4% goes immediately into the Acts of Kindness wallet. The Acts of Kindness wallet is set aside for survivors of, orphans and survivors of abuse. Now, it's a pretty big definition. It doesn't mean you need to live in an orphanage. You could be the orphan of a government. You could be the orphan of a company. You could be the orphan of a, social services. And we want to set aside funds for that to do good. And every time ACTS token is spent or transacted, we're setting aside money for that. And then, our company is built to run efficiently with the marketing dollars that come from every single transaction to be self-sufficient, right? So, the way that we built it and where we're trying to focus on, we are really focusing on financial education with ACTS for the reason that we want people to level up their financial education so that when their investments grow, so that when their holdings in X token grows, they can increase their financial thermostat to not lose all their money. Cryptocurrency should not be viewed as a lottery ticket. Cryptocurrency should be viewed as a financial vehicle that helps you grow, and then you stay there. Not, oh man, remember when I got had a little gain with X token, but I already lost and spent all that money. So that's one of the main reasons when you start to dig into the white paper, you can go to xtoken.com and check it out, and see what are our key values and what are we trying to do, because X token is built within an ecosystem and a set of rules and tokenomics that are not based on human weakness. They're built into the smart contracts and distributed automatically as the token continues to transact on a daily basis.
Awesome. Gary, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll go to more the heart for me. I've traveled quite a bit and teaching, training folk, and it was such a large barrier to entry to get in the room with me. And, in 14 years of doing that, I got to the point where there's got to be a way, like, let's say, I'm just going to say in the current climate we're in, we're all in a sinking ship and there's water coming in. We're still floating. There's water coming in. And I got a better bucket. What I should do is share the bucket with everybody, so then we all have a better bucket. And the price point barrier to entry to get to that bucket before was kind of high. And so I was searching for, like, if we're going to do a business, I know anytime I start a business, partner with a business, or do anything, I'm prepared to work more, show up more, take less to no pay, put my own money in. That's just where my heart is. And I've been fortunate in my life to have some success and have some mentors to properly align me with what if we could just make the business marketplace a better place? What if we learned some stuff? What if we gleaned some stuff? What if we gathered some stuff? And a lot of it we can just give away. I mean, we can just be like, you can just do these things. It's not my thing. I just discovered it and I'm just sharing it with you. And so in the process, I was already kind of like on a heart path of how do we make this more affordable? So when Axe Token came along, and I was like, wow, people were spending tens of thousands of dollars before to get access, really for a few $100s. We figured out a way for them to get access and to leverage it. And so the heart of it from that, and then it's like, okay, from the inception, widows, orphans, survivors of abuse. That's where our heart is. Let's help the ones who can themselves. And so if we can enable the ones who are able to help themselves to become better, and then share our vision, you don't have to help in the same way we're helping. Just pay it forward to someone else. Just we'll help you become better, and then you go help the marketplace become better, and then eventually we'll run back into a part of the marketplace that you've touched, and the landscape will have been changed, and it'll be better, and it just lifts everybody, and pretty soon you notice there's less water in the boat. The boat's doing just fine. It's not sinking anymore, and we're all doing great, and it weathers any storm. So really for me, just how can we reach the masses and cut down that barrier to entry and share with more folk?
Got it. So basically that's our introduction. We're going to start with a bang. Our next episode is going to go and it's going to be a trigger warning, possibly. It's something that most people have experienced. So get ready for fun. Yes, just a time of learning and a time of maybe being challenged with the trigger warnings. Especially, I like to call it Garyisms. Gary will always bring some other elements in, and at the same time, we'll be talking about crypto. So we look forward to seeing you more often on this podcast. See you next time on Trigger Warning.
Bye, guys. Thanks.